Your next coworker might not have a pulse, but it will have an employee ID. This week, NewCore just raised $66 million to solve something wild. How do you give an AI agent an actual professional identity? We are not talking about naming your chatbot. We are talking about profiles, credentials, even company email addresses for digital workers. It sounds like science fiction, but it's happening right now. And it's about to change how companies think about hiring. Because here's the thing, as AI gets smarter, companies are starting to realize these tools aren't just software anymore. They're starting to look like actual team members. And if they're going to work alongside humans in an office, even a digital one, they need the infrastructure to prove who they are. Think of it like this. Right now, when a company deploys an AI, it's like hiring someone without giving them a business card, a nameplate, or a way to prove they work there. NewCore is building the digital equivalent of onboarding. You give the AI a name, a profile, maybe even a profile picture. It gets logged into systems. It becomes a recognized entity in your company's network. And suddenly, all the messy questions we've been avoiding start to get real. Who's responsible if an AI agent makes a mistake? Can you fire it? Can it get promoted? These aren't idle questions anymore. For years, we've been treating AI like a tool. You flip a switch, it works, you're done. But somewhere along the line, that started changing. Companies began using AI for bigger tasks, not just writing an email, but managing entire workflows, making business decisions, even handling customer negotiations. The better AI got, the more it started to look less like software and more like a worker. Here's the problem nobody talked about. When an AI system fails or makes a controversial decision, who gets blamed? The company, the AI builder, the AI itself. There's no clear answer. In traditional employment, you have HR files, performance reviews, accountability chains. Everyone knows who's responsible. But with AI, it's murky. Is it the tool that failed or the person who deployed it? This ambiguity is costing companies real money and real reputation damage. Meanwhile, something else was happening. AI agents got smarter. They started working in teams, multiple AIs collaborating on a single project. And that's when companies realized, we need a way to track who did what. We need to know which AI handled which task, what decisions it made, and whether we can trust it next time. It's like trying to manage a team where nobody has a name, nobody has a resume, and nobody has any professional history. You can't manage what you can't identify, and that's where NewCore saw an opportunity. So what exactly is NewCore building? Think of it as an identity system for AI agents. Imagine a company brings in a new employee, human or not. Normally, you'd create an employee profile, a name, a photo, a department, maybe credentials or access permissions. NewCore is building the infrastructure that does exactly that, but for AI. You give your AI agent a name, let's say it's Atlas, your research assistant. NewCore creates a profile for Atlas. That profile becomes an identity in your company's systems. Atlas logs into databases. Atlas gets assigned tasks. Atlas generates reports with its name on them. Most importantly, when Atlas makes a decision or produces work, there's a clear audit trail. You can trace exactly what Atlas did, when, and even roll back changes if something goes wrong. The $66 million NewCore raised goes toward building the infrastructure layer. This includes identity verification, making sure an AI agent is who it says it is. It includes permission management, controlling what each AI can access. And it includes audit logging, the ability to review everything an agent has done. It's boring stuff, honestly. The kind of back-end work nobody gets excited about, but it's absolutely essential. Without it, AI systems run around in your company's networks with no accountability, no tracking, and no control. NewCore isn't trying to make AI smarter, they're making AI responsible. Let's talk about real-world usage. Say you're a financial services company. You've got an AI agent that processes loan applications. Right now, if something goes wrong, the audit trail is a mess. Which version of the code ran? Which AI made the final decision? Was it trained on the right data? With NewCore, the loan processing AI gets an identity. It's not just the loan bot. It's Loan Alex, version 3.2. Trained on Q1 2026 data, certified for retail loans up to $500,000. Every loan decision comes with Loan Alex's signature. If something goes wrong, if a loan was approved inappropriately or a customer lawsuit comes up, You can pull the audit log and see exactly what happened. You can see which AI made the call, what data it used, and whether it was operating within its certified parameters. Another example, a healthcare company uses an AI agent to triage patient inquiries. Multiple versions of the AI might be running simultaneously. One handles basic symptom checks. Another handles appointment scheduling. With NewCore, each has an identity, a version number, a scope of responsibility. This matters hugely for liability. If a patient sues, the healthcare company can prove which AI version was running, when, and what its limitations were documented as being. It's the difference between saying an AI made a mistake and saying Loan Alex 2.8 exceeded its documented parameters on this specific input. And that's just the beginning. So how is NewCore different from just deploying an AI normally? Right now, most companies treat AI like a black box. You put information in, AI spits out an answer, you use it or ignore it. You have no visibility into why the AI made that decision. You can't compare two versions of the same AI. You can't audit what happened. You can't even prove which AI you were using if a problem comes up. NewCore changes that by creating a transparent, auditable layer between your company and its AI agents. Think of traditional AI deployment like hiring someone without an employment contract. NewCore is like creating the whole HR infrastructure, contracts, training records, performance reviews, everything. Traditional approach, we have an AI service. NewCore approach, we have an AI employee with an identity, credentials, and accountability. The practical difference is enormous. With NewCore, a bank can say to a regulator, here's which AI made this decision, here's its training data, here's its performance metrics. Without NewCore, you're just guessing. You can't prove anything. For regulated industries, finance, healthcare, law, this is the difference between getting sued and having a legal defense. But it's also better for companies that just care about quality. You can version your AIs, track which version performs best, and roll back if something breaks. You can give different AIs different permissions so they only access what they need. But here's what the headlines aren't telling you. Here's what keeps executives up at night. If AI agents have identities, responsibilities, and audit trails, are they legally employees? That question is still unsolved, and NewCore is dancing right on that edge. Right now, the law hasn't caught up. There's no clear answer to whether an AI agent with an identity and assigned tasks should have employee protections or liabilities. Should an AI have to meet certain safety standards to be deployed? Should it be insurable? Can it be sued? These are the questions NewCore is forcing companies to actually ask out loud. Because right now, companies are deploying AIs into critical roles with zero legal clarity. An AI agent making million-dollar financial decisions with no more formal standing than a temporary contractor. NewCore's infrastructure actually makes these issues worse before they make them better. Because now you can prove the AI did something. You can identify it. You can hold it responsible, which means companies will eventually have to take responsibility too. The regulatory backlash is probably coming. If NewCore succeeds, governments will eventually create frameworks for AI agent accountability. That might include requirements for transparency, insurance, even licensing for certain AI agents. This could be genuinely good. It'd force companies to deploy safer, tested AIs. But it could also slow down adoption if requirements get too restrictive. And here's where it gets interesting. NewCore might have just made the biggest strategic mistake by proving AI agents can be identified and tracked. So if you work at a company and you're interested in adopting NewCore, what does that actually look like? First, you'll identify which of your AI agents could benefit from identity management. That's usually agents doing consequential work, things where you need to audit decisions, demonstrate compliance, or prove who did what. Next, you integrate NewCore into your deployment workflow. Instead of just spinning up an AI and pointing it at data, you'd register it with NewCore first. Give it a name, a version number, a scope of authority. Define what it's allowed to do, set its permissions. Then before you deploy it to production, you go through a certification process. Is the AI safe for this use case? Has it been tested? Does it meet your internal standards? Once certified, the AI gets deployed with its NewCore identity active. From that point on, every decision it makes is logged. Every action is tracked. If something changes, you update the AI model, you revise its permissions, you retire it. There's a complete record. You can replay what happened, analyze where problems occurred, and explain your decisions to regulators if needed. The onboarding process for teams is simpler than you'd think. The NewCore team provides templates and tools that integrate with common AI platforms, OpenAI, Anthropic, local or Llama models. They are building connectors so you don't have to do massive engineering work. Over time, this becomes standard practice. Here's what you need to take away from this. NewCore isn't making AI smarter. They're making AI accountable, and that's actually the more important problem. For years, we've been deploying AI into critical roles with zero visibility and zero accountability. Companies deploying AIs to make hiring decisions, medical decisions, financial decisions, with no way to prove what happened if something goes wrong. NewCore is solving that. They're creating the infrastructure that makes AI agents transparent and auditable. That's genuinely important. The $66 million they raised signals that this is a real market problem. Enterprises actually need this. They want their AIs to be accountable. They want to be able to defend their decisions. They want clear audit trails. But here's what this really means for the future. AI is moving from interesting tool to actual worker in your infrastructure. That's a sea change. It means regulation is coming. It means legal liability is coming. It means insurance and certification standards are coming. Companies that adopt NewCore early will be better positioned for that future. They'll have the tools to prove their AIs are safe, tested, and transparent. They'll have documentation that regulators want to see. They'll have a legal defense if something goes wrong. So watch NewCore if they succeed. They're not just building a tool, they are building the foundation for how enterprises will hire, manage, and account for AI agents for the next decade. And that future is happening right now.